everyone and welcome to my channel. So I have my Cuttlebug here and I just wanted to explain to you what I'm going to attempt, because I have these embossing stencils that go with the Cuttlebug. They don't only go with the Cuttlebug, you can use them with anything. And what it actually does is it makes imprints in your cardboard or your paper. So I've got the base and then two tops, so it depends how thick. If you have maybe something that is a lot thicker, a cardboard, or even if you're using your glitter foam, you can use this in your Cuttlebug as well to make imprints. So you take the base and you put your piece of cardboard into your embossing folder, put the two tops on, or one top, whichever you are going to be using, and then you just wind it through and it makes an amazing embossing imprint in your cardboard. Look how beautiful that is. It's absolutely gorgeous. So you have the embossed and then you have whatever the opposite of embossed is. Debossed, maybe. I'm not sure what it's called. So I got this idea from Steve McDonald, and his YouTube is Steve McDonald Arts and Crafts. So what I wanted to try was, I wanted to try one that has your actual die cut in them as well. So that one has the die cut, and then the clock faces doesn't have the die cut, it's just your embossing, because I wanted to see whether those die cuts where the white hearts are would actually come out of the silicone. So I'm not even sure if I mentioned at the beginning that I'm actually making my own inlays. So I don't know why I didn't even mention that in the beginning, but that is actually what I'm doing. I'm making inlays. So here I have my it's number 10 of my silicone. So it's the softest silicone that I can get, because I want it to be nice and floppy and flexible and as thin as I can get it. Now the clock face ones, I wasn't too worried about how thick it was, because like I did mention, I wanted to try the heart one to see whether the die cut sections would actually come out of the silicone. So here I'm just using my sucker stick or lolly stick or whatever you call them, just to spread the silicone around on the actual plastic folder. And I was obviously trying to get it as smooth as possible and also as thin as possible, but making sure that the whole piece of plastic was covered. So like I said, I watched this on Steve McDonald's and he had some stamps that he did as well. I don't have any stamps, so I thought, well, I'll try my luck with my embossing folders. And what I did was I split them at the top, because I needed them to lie flat, and when they are joined at the top they do have a tendency to want to fold up. So I had to split them, which is fine, because if I need to use them in the Cuttlebug again, I can just tape them at the top so that they fold over nicely, because obviously in the Cuttlebug you have a front and a back. So the back literally pushes into the front, or the front into the back, whichever way you've got it, and that is what makes the actual imprint. So I split mine and I used the section that is sticking up, not the back of it that is recessed. The front of it has I'm sure you can visualize what I'm explaining, that so when you run your finger over it, there is edges sticking up and it's not imprinted in the actual plastic. I hope you get what I'm trying to explain. So then when you actually take the silicone off, it is the opposite. So when you use it in your tray or wherever you're going to use it, the indent is lower and your I think I'm actually even confusing myself, but you will see when I use them in one of my videos exactly what I'm actually explaining. But I think you get the gist of what I'm saying, so that you have some sections that are sticking up, some sections that are flat, and then the sections that are sticking up you can use some rub and buff or something like that, even some paint, just to rub over the top so it highlights those sections. So now this is the one that has the die cuts in it. It's actually really pretty. It's the hearts, and this one I wanted to make thinner. I just wanted it to cover the surface, and I was hoping that where the hearts are that have the die cut I'd be able to pull those off so that there's an actual hole there. So when I use it in a tray as an inlay, that section would be even deeper than the rest of it, and it wouldn't be deeper, it would actually stick out more, and then the rest of it would be in the recess. So this one, and actually it was lucky that I did only want it to be thin, because I had only poured, I think it was 30 grams of the silicone. So luckily I only needed this one to be thin because I was running out, and even though I wanted it thin, I didn't want any sections that didn't have a nice covering. So here I was just making sure that everywhere at least had a thin coating on it. I was even getting a bit desperate to try and get as much as I could out of the cup, so scraping as much out of it, even the little drips on the side, so that I could make sure that all the sections of it was covered. Like I did mention, this is my silicone. It's a number 10. It is the thinnest that I can find, and it is such a nice silicone. This silicone is from our local distributor, AMT Composites. They are literally down the road from where I work, and so it's so easy. If I need anything, it's literally I pop around the corner and I can get what I am looking for. They also sell my resin and some pigments and mica powders as well, but I mainly get my resin, my polyurethane, and my silicone from them. So here I was just tapping it just to make sure that it was as smooth as I could get it, and I had to leave that now to cure, and hopefully it was going to do what Steve McDonald's did. And so the first one I'm taking off the embossing folder is the heart one that has the die cuts in it, and it had really molded nicely, and there you can see it was coming off perfectly. It is really thin, but it was doing exactly what I wanted it to do. In some of the places the hearts had actually stayed in the die cut section, which is what I wanted. I wanted all of those hearts to come out, and I was really pleased already that some of them were staying on the actual folder. And there we go. I think it turned out beautifully. And they really stick. So I was quite confident that when I did leave them or put them into a tray and was going to pour over my resinite or Ecoresin or whichever I was going to use, that it would definitely stick to the silicone mold because it was really sticky. And here I was just removing as many of the hearts that I could, and they came out really easily. I was actually really impressed. So this one turned out really nicely, and I already had an idea for what I was going to use it in. And then I kept those little heart sections because I could use those as inlays as well. So those I kept, all of them that I had taken off or out of the inlay. And then that is the clock one, which I think also came out really nicely. And I want to do a second clock one because I want to use that in a bigger tray, and obviously it's not big enough for a tray, so I will have to make two so that they both fit in a long tray. So I've put up some pictures of them just so that you can see them close up, and I will be doing a video where I use the heart inlay, and you'll be able to see how nicely it actually came out. But for this video I just wanted to show you how I did them. And please go and have a look at Steve McDonald Arts and Crafts, where he does his, and he also does his stamps, like I said. So I will link his YouTube page in my description, and if you want to go and have a look at his, you can see how he did his. So guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this short video of how I did my inlays. And again, as usual, until next time, have a great one.